Backyard Brawls. What is Backyard Brawls for people that don't know? What's the promotion about? What are you guys about?
Well, this is it. BYB is Backyard Bare Knuckle Brawls, right? And it started down here in sunny South Florida. And man, we just revolutionized the way that the world look at extreme reality. When you look at some of the biggest and the best and the toughest individuals, these were the individuals that, were never given the opportunities because of the politics involved with sports and entertainment. You have sports, then you have entertainment. So it goes back before bare knuckle fighting was even popular. That's how long we've been down doing this thing. Now that it's safe, there's no more risk to take. No one is being threatened with jail. Everybody wants to come out, with their stories of years and years and years ago, stating that, hey, we were given a cease and desist order, which they're talking about the stuff that we actually were dealing with. We're talking about back in 2006, 2007, when nobody was hotter than Kimbo Slice. So at the end of the day, which is why we are the originals and the creators, is because we didn't invent this. This stuff been going around, since the Roman gladiator days, but we played an innovative role to it, right? So we took something that was already in existence and we altered its appearance. We made it more appealing and pleasing to the eyes of the people of the 21st century. And we put it back out there. It was like going fishing with good bait. We caught the world's attention. We done stuff in the backyard that top 10 promotions are not doing today. But by me being who I am and the vision that I had, a lot of people couldn't understand it. They couldn't identify with it. So henceforth, after years, over a decade of dominance inside the backyard, I partnered up, with the great guy, Mike Vasquez, who's the president and CEO, of BYB Extreme. And together, creative minds, they never take a day off. And again, we created BYB, and which is the next evolution, for bare knuckle sports and entertainment all across the land. We are the originators, we are the creators, we got the blueprints, and I wouldn't trade that experience in for nothing in the world because we started from the ground up. Nothing was given, didn't have any money, didn't have nobody that I could have called and, could have pulled strings and favors, for myself. So one thing I did know that I had, was a creative mind, and a strong vocabulary that I could have put the words in a format that it could hit, it could resonate. And again, we started something, now the world is gravitating towards bare knuckle, all over, and I tell people before the gloves were on, they were off. Before MMA became MMA, before boxing became boxing, it was bare knuckle first. And bare knuckle is the biggest sport on the planet. Because it don't matter if you are a WWE champion, if you are a boxing world champion, MMA world champion, you were a bare knuckle fighter first. If you had a fight in grammar school, at the bus stop, on the PE field, it was these. You did bare knuckle before the road for you was even carved out. So this is the way that I think. I put all these different components together, dots. I try to connect. And most people, they understand that this is reality, but it's not their reality. That's why we are cutting edge.
All right, you're talking about cutting edge creativity. I went to the last BYB. I saw some whenever you guys share highlights, everybody talked about what's up with the triangle ring. What's up with the trigon? That's the first thing everybody's talked about whenever they see a clip. How did that come about? Was that your idea? How did that? And why do you think it's so? Why do you think it's so captivating whenever anybody sees that?
Because it's not common. It's not common. And anytime, again, when you're on the cusp of breaking, edge, cutting edge, people, they don't want something new. They want to stay in cahoots with everything that they've grown to know and love, right? But the reason why the mighty trigon, the triangle, is so dominant, is so well welcomed, is so, breathtaking, is because it's always been there. When you look at evolution, when you look at astrology and numerology, when you look at the galaxy, the solar system, and the pyramids, and people being fascinated, years and years and years later, how did these buildings erect? Even scientists and archaeologists I've seen on YouTube when they was like, even to date in 2021, it will still be very challenging with the tools and the technology we have today to emulate or to duplicate what these individuals have done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of years ago. So that brings us back to this. What is the fascination? The triangle is been gawked over, it's the center of attention when you talk about mystery, when you talk about, everything mysteriously. When you look at the Bermuda Triangle, with people, that person was caught inside of a love triangle. The triangle is used in more, conversations than any other shape, next to the octagon, because the octagon is so heavily assimilated with sports. But prior to that, before MMA was even a thing, it was always the triangle. And I go back to this because when people look at my hair, right, these are upside down triangles. And for those who knew me, they know I've been wearing this haircut for over 12, 14 years. So what does that tell you? How long I've been formulating over the triangle. And when I teamed up with Mike Vasquez, then we was able to inform BYB, we was able to make it into a reality. But we debuted it on, National Geographics and a couple other, networks, and it went bananas. The rating, because no one has ever seen it. So when you look at this, it's 3 equal sides of pure mayhem. You can't bring your bicycle in the trigon. I could bring a bicycle inside the boxing ring and run round in the squared circle and run round. You can't do that. You have to fight inside the mighty trigon. Listen, your fight, your night. Never leave it in the hands of the judges because they may not get it right. The trigon, it holds true to those words. We have a 98% TKO, KO finish rate. And these are facts. The trigon gives the opponent something else to worry about, like not getting trapped in one of those corners, because if you get trapped in one of them corners by a skilled opponent with a good jab, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to make it out. It's going to be a short night at the office.
All right, so you talk about innovation, creativity. Where do you see BYB 2 to 3 years, 5 years from now? What is your vision going forward with BYB?
Leading the pack, world dominance. When it comes down to global branding, sports, entertainment, recognition. Because again, if you look at what we did with this, imagine that we have a little bit of substance now, a little bit of breathing room. The creativity is going to run wild. And a lot of people, they look at a lot of things as it is as a business. They have a system. We're not afraid to going out of the norm, to elevating, and that's what we're doing. We're going to continue raising the bar and moving the needle. So 2, 3 years from now, we'll be $1 billion company, And you'll see a lot of individuals from all around the world coming over to us, because we're going to take over. It's just a matter of time. Rome wasn't built in a day, and we have a strong game plan. We have a format. We have a strategy with a point of execution, and nobody on the planet can stop it. We got too many like-minded, brilliant creators of content on this side. And when I say that, I mean it. And now you're starting to see every show we're elevating, we're getting bigger and better.
All right, so one thing I did see from the last fight, and one thing that you've talked about before is just giving these guys, I think you said it before, giving these guys a second chance, just giving them an opportunity to grow, these fighters. In the last BYB, one of the guys, he had a knockout, I'm not sure what his name is, it went viral, it was on Barstool, we did it, and I checked his IG, he was a factory worker, you feel me? And you're giving, how does it feel to give these guys an opportunity to kind of make it, do something else and live out their dreams?
it feels amazing because again, we are creators of opportunity. You can wait till opportunity knock, or you could go out there and you could create your own opportunities. And this is a continuation, a next level up, the next phase of evolution for what we was already doing in the backyard. Keep in mind, going back to those days, right? We knew what these guys had, we knew what they didn't have. These guys, they didn't have a high school diploma, they didn't have a skill or a trade, They got 2 strikes and they're working on their 3rd, Most of these individuals, if you were to give them an alternative, it didn't matter what society deemed them as. If you were to give them an alternative, they would at least consider it. So that's just it. No one was taking time out for these individuals. So guess what? You may have a performance plan. This person may have a performance plan. Some people can read better than they can write. Some people can count better than they can spell, right? They have their strongs, their highs, and their lows. Through conversation, you can figure out, what's what with these individuals. So guess what? If I'm putting together a performance plan for you, you're going to succeed because it's designed for you, not for this person, for you. As his is designed for him. And that's why we had a success rate. That's why guys was going pro out of the backyard, because you were special, like how these individuals are at BYB. So we already had the format. We already had the foundation laid, so we just continued the tradition, to the point that now these guys are saying like, yo, we're giving them the wrist support that stabilize, because an incorrect punch at an awkward angle could break your wrist. So we pour in to our fighters, because without them, we don't have a show, So we understand the importance of one hand wash the other hand, and they both wash the face. And this is just the beginning. We have a lot in store for the world. And the only thing individuals can do in a second, is just sit back and hope that they can wait this thing out. But once we're on, we're never going to stop.
All right, so this weekend, BYB 7, James O. Knight Center, it's on Saturday, right?
Saturday night.
All right, so if somebody's never seen BYB, what can they expect? If they tune in, they buy a ticket, what can they expect when they go to the arena, or if they tune in online, whatever?
What can they expect? They can expect to see the greatest bare-knuckle show on earth. When I say the greatest bare-knuckle show on earth, a lot of people will say, hey, listen, that's Wrangling Brothers Bone and Belly slogan, until we surfaced, right? So what should they bring? They should bring a seatbelt in the Bible. This is going to be a wild roller coaster ride, action-packed, full of thrills and chills. Knockouts for days, I guarantee you. Everybody that leaves that building, 9/11, is going to be saying, when is the next one? When is the next one? Again, creative minds never take a day off. So we know the feel that we want to give these fans, right? So they could go back and they could tell another friend or a family member about this awesome experience. So guess who's going to be in attendance the next time? So this is what we do. You know what I'm saying? To reach one, we show the education and the impact of the culture. This is, big. It's bigger than me. And I tell people when they say, oh, no, but it's Dada, I'm like, yo, listen, I'm just a spokesman for the movement. You know what I'm saying? An ambassador for the culture. I'm still out here, hand to hand, regardless of the levels that I've risen to. You see what I'm saying? See, I got that connection. So it's nowhere, no place that I can't go. Because I am the streets. I am the heartbeat of the streets. You ask anybody else, could they go anywhere in the United States or in other countries and just fit in, and I don't need to introduce myself. We've been at this for a while. I got people in prison, people all over saying, yo, when I get out, if I can only make it to the backyard, I'll link up with Dada. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to be honest with you. These are the people, you have so many athletes, right? You think Michael Jordan was amazing, which he is, LeBron James. Think of the biggest and the best athletes that are at the tip of our tongues. that made history. You think they were the only ones? You got a lot of individuals that made some poor choices, got caught up in the wrong places at the wrong time, that was placed in other places that was 10 times better than any of these, but we never got a chance to see their skills because of, you know, the apples that life, the lemons that life, you know what I'm saying, throw at you. But these guys are getting out now. So listen, we are equal opportunity employer. You know, if you can educatedly defend yourself, you know what I'm saying, we have, you know, personnel. We have one of the best matchmakers in the planet, you know, Mel the matchmaker, you know, that's putting these cars together. And you have so many people. I mean, we got fighters for days that are calling, you know. So to all the fighters that are listening, you get an opportunity to fight with BYB, come out there, man. Listen, bring your A game, because a loss, the line is so long, no one can say when you'll probably be seen again. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. One last question. You still fighting? Are you still come back, or are you just promoting now? You got y'all.
I will say this, right?
You still got that passion to fight. Do you want to go out there and put it on, or
I mean, of course, you know. And what's so interesting? I'm glad you asked that question. What's so interesting is this, you know. I never stopped training. I feel I'm one of the most devastating, you know, hardest punchers, you know, out. I'm incredibly dangerous because of this. Not so much as this, right? And you know, that's one of the things that we had spoke about. So, you know, it was pretty much about getting BYB stable, getting the legs up underneath it, you know, and then Dada, what you want to do, you know? So we're there, you know, but we got something big that's coming up. Something very, very big that's coming up.
All right, cool. All right, Dada, thanks for your time. I think I'm good.
And last but not least, to all of the people that are tuning in, you know, if they cannot make it out, you know, because they're in different cities or states or other parts of the world, they can watch it for free. We're streaming it live. You know, go to BYB Extreme YouTube channel, you know, and we have a star-studded cast. We have Claudia Torres, Al Bernstein, Paulie Maginato, Mike Goldberg, myself. These individuals, they don't need an introduction, you know, and they can get their tickets at bybtickets.com and follow BYB Extreme all across the board on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, you know, and listen, all night long, 9/11, you know, man, we're going to light up the sky like it's the 4th of July. James L. Night Center.
All right, Dada. Sounds good.
Thank you, man.
All right, Don.
Yes, sir.
Fellas, thanks. Jorge, hope I see you out there, man.
All right, bro.
All right, see you guys. Thanks, Dada. Talk to you in a little bit.
All right, now.